Hello, I'm FBX and this is Q&A Saturday, the weekly series I run on my channel and answer your questions from the past week or so that have been left on my channel. These are about half divided between questions about the next big update for Minecraft on the consoles, for obvious reasons. But yeah, we're calling that TU51, and we got a lot of exciting questions about that, but also the other half are about anything else people have been asking, whether it's travel or whether it's just about anything people want to ask me. That's what Q&A Saturday is all about, and in today's video, I've got some pretty interesting questions that hopefully all of you do enjoy too. Like the video if you do like it, because it helps out the channel, and let's know you do like the Q&A Saturday as an opportunity to do this like back and forth thing. With that said, let's get straight into it, shall we? And let's start with the very first question, which comes in from Twisted Hacks, who asks a question we've seen several times before, but it's a bit different this time because they say, if command blocks are coming to Minecraft console, how do you think they will work? So yeah, like I said, we see this question every single week at least 5 or 10 times, but this time it's a different answer to just like, oh yeah, we'll wait till the PC does something and then we'll see if the console follows at some point later, because there is a very exciting new development on this one, because the Pocket Edition has just added command blocks. They're only in the beta builds right now, so you know there's some time until it becomes a real consideration for the console, but the fact that the Pocket Edition has command blocks is exciting, and you might think, why is that? I mean, the PC's had them for a while, why is the Pocket Edition add them, make them any more likely on the console? Well, the reason the console doesn't have command blocks is because there is no GUI, a graphical user interface, because right now if you wanted to type a command block on the console, you'd have to type these really weird symbols, you know, like at, p, give, all of that, just for really simple commands, and basically it means that command blocks on consoles would be unwieldy and basically nearly impossible to use. And I think that the idea of them coming to the Pocket Edition with this GUI that lets you, you know, toggle all these settings would make it way more likely on the console, because instead of using the PC system, where like I said, you type all of that mess and it's just not very fun, instead they could add the Pocket Edition command blocks, which is, you know, there's something, they've done that before actually. They added the Pocket Edition rabbits at one point instead of the PC rabbits, and you know, it makes sense that if they want to add the command block, which so many people ask them to do, they'd add the PE one instead of the console one. So yeah, how would they work on Minecraft console? There would be a GUI, you'd have to type some stuff, you know, to target particular players or do this or do that, but it'd be like one command you type as opposed to this giant unwieldy mess. And basically, yeah, command blocks on console are something that seem a lot more likely now, and the way they work seems a lot better than the whole, you know, like you have to plug in a keyboard, and I'm kind of excited about that in general. So there's the answer to your question, Twisted Hacks. Let's move into the second one, shall we, which comes in from Corner Leo, I believe that is, who says, when will we get barrier blocks at Toycat Q&A? So I picked this one because it's kind of related to the command block thing too, and yeah, when will we get barrier blocks on console? Well, they should have been here by now if they were following the PC scheme, kind of like command blocks were 1.4, but we just don't have those, or kind of like, you know, again, barrier blocks are in 1.9, but we don't have those. I think this is one of those features where they're going to add it at some point later down the line when it next becomes relevant. So you might have noticed how maybe like 4 months ago now, Roger Carpenter was talking about at some point map sharing will come to console. They don't know when. It's one of those like far off features they've got to get working across all the consoles, but I think when we'll get barrier blocks will be the exact same time we get map sharing, and will be the exact same time we get command blocks, because as soon as you know, map sharing comes, you suddenly need to have barrier blocks, you suddenly need to have command blocks, you need to have, you know, customized worlds and all this and that, you know, like mob spawners, all these sorts of blocks that are mostly made for making maps for other people. Right now, they're fun and they make sense, but only for like, you know, the 1% of people that do share their maps and play with people outside their group of friends. So yeah, I think when there's a way for everyone to do that, then the tools for it, such as barrier blocks, command blocks, and etc., will come to the game too, which is pretty exciting if you ask me. So yeah, let's move into the third question, shall we, which comes in from Braden Blalak, who says, Toycat, is there a chance that the Switch will fail and die like the Wii U? So yeah, for the past while now, I've been really excited about my Nintendo Switch, and I think the Switch is an exciting thing from Nintendo, whether you have one or whether you never intend to get one, because it is, you know, like gaming, but like it's a cross between a portable console and a home console. It's more portable, but you know, it's a really exciting console. But is there an opportunity for it to just fail, drop, and then, you know, like Nintendo has to release another console 4 years down the line? And I think there is a very serious possibility. I think most people are just, you know, pretending like, oh yeah, well the Switch had a successful launch, so I guess it's all fine. But you got to bear in mind the Nintendo Wii U, although, you know, it wasn't as successful, it wasn't, you know, terribly unsuccessful until like a solid 6 months to a year after launch. And bear in mind, right now on the Switch, there is one game worth playing. There is Breath of the Wild. There is, you know, right now there's only 25 or like 26 games you can play, at least as of me recording this, and out of those 26 games, you know, there's Breath of the Wild, there's Bomberman, and there's 1-2 Switch that are, you know, maybe worth anything. There's then like 15 games from the Neo Geo. They re-released 20-year-old games, or, you know, something like that, from that far along. There's a game called Othello, which I think is a board game. There's a free-to-play Android game, which you can only play with the touchscreen. That's in there too, but it costs $7.99. There's all these bizarre choices, and it basically means that you've got, like, realistically 3 to 5 games to play, and that's not going to change for a very, very long time. So, yeah, is there a chance it'll fail and die? I think there is, unless they can get the excitement rolling for Mario Kart 8, and then Splatoon 2, and then, you know, basically, Nintendo sell their systems based on exciting games, and they need to have those. You know, what about Minecraft? We don't know when that's coming. That could be an exciting, you know, part of the, you know, system being vital, and it's something I'm looking forward to, particularly because you might have worked out by now, I like Minecraft and I like my Switch. I'd like to see the two of those combined at some point, and I'll let you know as soon as we actually have any idea when that's happening. But yeah, with that said, I think the Switch might die, but I don't think it's likely to. And let's move on to the next question, which comes in from Jonathan Rudd, who says, why don't I have a take all feature in my game? I've been searching all over the place for it, and it doesn't show up for me when I open the chest. So, yeah, this is a question I see a whole bunch. In fact, let me just say it right now, it's one of the most frustrating questions, like, I guess I get why people say, but it still, like, hurts me a bit when I see it, which is, Toycat, how do you take everything from a chest? Because I've answered it across, like, 50 videos now, but you press LB to do that. But then I see, now I see some questions like this, that are like, oh yeah, I know how to take all the things from my chest, Toycat, but why can't I? So, it's LB, but it only works in Battle Minigame and Tumble. You cannot do it outside of the minigames. It is a minigame exclusive feature, and as I found out the fact, actually, it was, like, optional for a little bit in both those games, but there's the only place you can do that is in battle. If you're in your regular world, you can't take everything from a chest just yet anyway. So, yeah, now you know, Jonathan Rudd. Let's move on to the next question, which comes in from April Chicka Troop, who says, #Q, when Minecraft comes to the Switch, how often will you play it? Will it overtake the console for you, or is it just more for traveling use? So, I mean, technically the Switch is a console, so, like, it doesn't really need to overtake the console. But to state on just a little bit of a point, after I say, by the way, I mostly picked this question for the cute cat. But, yeah, to say I'm actually mostly on the point, is it more for travel use, or is it going to be like a main console? I think maybe a bit of both. The Nintendo Switch right now is the console I play in the evening. Like, it's the only thing I have hooked up to my downstairs TV. So, like, even though I rarely like to use it that way, because, again, it runs worse when you put it in TV mode for some bizarre reason. But yeah, the actual point here, will Minecraft Switch overtake the other consoles? I think it won't for videos and stuff, but I think for just, you know, recreational, I want to play this world for that amount of time, it probably will do, because, again, the Switch is a very fun console that you can play on a plane or play out there, and honestly, there is no Minecraft I can take on a plane with me, or, you know, take on a train or whatever, and I think if it is a good version of Minecraft on the Switch, then that will be exciting stuff there. So, yeah, I will be using it for travel use mostly, but I'll also do the, when it comes out, I'll do some videos, but it will mostly then be for just, oh yeah, I want to recreationally play Minecraft away from the office, or like outside, in the park, you know, whatever it is, that's what it's mostly for. So let's move into the next question, shall we, which comes in from Manuel Gamer 718, who says, will we have the new blocks from 1.12? Easy answer to this question, in the next update, you know, TU51 as we're currently calling it, will we have 1.12 blocks? No. The reason for that is because they're currently in development on the PC, they're not confirmed yet. You might recall there's been a lot of features that were in development versions that were removed then added, like, you know, the quiver, for instance, one of the biggest examples, and this is the same reason why command blocks definitely can't come till they are out on the final version of the edition, because development features aren't guaranteed, and there's no point 4J wasting time on development features that then get removed, that they have to remove from the console. Kind of like how, you know, luck potions, if they'd been removed before the update had come out, they wouldn't have put them in the update, because there's no reason bothering to put something in the game just to then remove it, which I know that's confusing, but to explain all of that, not until it comes out officially. If 1.12 comes out before TE51, there's a tiny chance, but if it doesn't, there is a essentially zero chance. It's never happened so far, it might happen for the first time, but I wouldn't get too excited, even though Glazed Terracotta is one of the coolest blocks. So yeah, let's move to the next question, which comes in from Shavonna, who says, Q hashtag, because, you know, gotta be a rebel, mix things up, even when the hashtag is as simple as a single letter, but they say, do you think it's normal to be close friends with your plumber? Also, how is your virtual girlfriend, Amazon Echo, so far? So, the thing about my plumber, so you might recall, he's showed up in a couple of videos now. I call him my plumber because it's funnier to be like, oh yeah, me and my plumber, we cooked a nice dinner together and played some video games. Like, that's a funny thing to say, but realistically, he is a friend-ish from at least a couple of years ago, and, you know, like, so that's the reason he's my plumber. He was my friend first, and then my plumber, so that's the reason for that. And the virtual girlfriend / the Amazon Echo, I really like the Echo. I would recommend one, just for fun, and if you want a speaker, but I think, I don't use it as much as I could, because there's just a lot of stuff where it's like, oh, I have to ask her what I need. It really should just be like, oh yeah, when she spots that I come downstairs in the morning, she should say, here's the weather, Andrew. She should say, oh yeah, would you like the lights on? Would you like me to play some happy wake-up music? You know, I feel like that's what the, like, next generation of virtual assistant will be, and I'm just, you know, I'm just a little bit upset that it doesn't do that right now. So yeah, how is it going? It's going pretty well. I really recommend the Amazon Echo, or actually the Google Home is just as good, but I think, like, right now, we're seeing the very first version of something that might not ever go anywhere. So yeah, there's your answer to your question. I like technology, and now you know too. So let's move on to the next question, which comes in from Colperet, which is also like a vaguely friend-related question, who says, #Q, how did you meet Mega vs. Prime? So yeah, you might have seen him show up in at least a few videos now, because he has been very helpful. You might recall the 6 villages you need video. There's been a few other random custom maps here and there that he has helped out with. So yeah, you might be curious as to like, oh yeah, so how does that work? Basically, the way I meet most people that have helped out in some video, whether it was I think that was the Raylan person from the TNT map, usually what it is like, I try to do more stuff if I can myself in Minecraft. That's something I think I'm going to have to change in the nearest future, because, times are changing, and let's double down on what we're doing here. But yeah, I think I try to do most things by myself, but there are certain things a bit bigger than that, and if I need someone to help me, I don't know why, but for me it's like, if I recognize them from the stream and I tweet out and they say, yeah, I'll help you, it just kind of, that's how I meet most people. If you're curious as to how I met all of the moderators, to help out in the stream, or like anyone else that's helped out, it mostly is just like, oh yeah, when I'm live streaming, they're the people that are being like positive and not, because there are 2 ways to use a live stream, and I'm not saying one way is wrong, but there's a way where you're just like, I'm gonna like throw stuff in here and like, I really just want you to say my name and say, notice me senpai. Or there's the types of people that are like, actually making like a cool dialogue going back and forth, and I like those people. And then, from the live stream chat, it comes into, oh, now we're talking a little bit outside it, then it comes into, oh yeah, why don't we work on this Minecraft thing? And that's how Mega vs. Prime and also a bunch of other people have made it onto the friends list or into videos, or whatever you're actually thinking of when you think of those people. And now you know the full story. So let's move into the next question, the all-important one from Pricked Pickle. #Q, what is the guest release date? Right now, we have no idea. The thing about 4J is, again, I have no idea where this is. There's got to be some good reason. A part of me wants to go like, oh, it must be because, at the start of the year, they're just lazy or something. But no, for some reason, when it comes to 4J, the start of the year, there is always fewer updates. So even though last year there was 4 updates, they came out in like June, August, they were all in the second half of the year. There was no update for the first 5 months. Don't ask me why that is, or there was updates, but they were small ones. Don't ask me why that is. Maybe they prepare all the updates simultaneously, so they kind of push them out one by one. And you got to bear in mind, this year they've got lots of big stuff they say they're working on, add-ons and realms on this big update. I don't know why it is that, one of those things hasn't come out or been teased yet, even though it is like a third of the way through the year, a quarter of the way through the year now. But if I had to guess when one of those things is coming up, based on previous stuff, probably like, April or May, if one of those things was coming out like right now, we would have seen something. I just feel like we would have seen something, and the fact that we haven't seen anything proper makes me think that it's at least more than a month away, because you wouldn't just say, oh yeah, by the way, here's this giant thing coming out. Except, sometimes they've done that, but for something as big as Realms, you want to get the hype going. You want to convince people that, yeah, this is worth my money and I'm excited to spend the money. Or, if it's add-ons, you got to convince people that, oh yeah, let's develop some add-ons specifically for the console. Or, whatever it is, I feel like you need to get people on board a little bit just before it. So, yeah, when is all this stuff coming out? I don't know for certain. The first updates in the year are always tricky to tell, so I guess I'll just say, like, make up a random date right here, May the 18th, or wait, I'm going to look at my calendar to make sure it's a Tuesday, because always pick the Tuesdays. May the 16th is when I'm predicting. Something will come out then. Maybe I made that up on the spot, but if I really had to guess release date, that sounds like a pretty good one from here, but we don't know until we hear something else. So yeah, let's move on to the final question, shall we? Which comes in from JBlitz15, who says, #Q and A, can you tell us 4 quick fun facts about the place you're flying to? So yeah, I'm flying to Denver, Colorado, which is in the state of Colorado, and it's fun fact, it's the big city they always reference in South Park. That's how most people know it, I think. So there's your first fun fact. Second fun fact, it's really high up. Colorado is a very mountainy state, if I'm not mistaken, and as a result of that, like, Denver is relatively high up, which means a lot of people get like severe altitude sickness. Even if you're like from a high place, they're significantly higher than most other places. So if you go there, you might get horribly ill, and if you go there without health insurance, you might get horribly ill and die. Isn't that wonderful? The third fun fact about Colorado is it has one of the highest rates of like college, American college, that is, not like, rest of the world college. It has one of the highest rates of like, college, succession rates, so college graduates and like PhD people. So again, it depends on how you measure it, but they're usually like second or third. Very, very high percentage of that, so very cool stuff. And also, they were the very first state, if I'm not mistaken, to fully legalize recreational drugs. So now there's 4 fun facts about Colorado. Hope you that's a fun one to end today's video on, right? Hope you did all enjoy this week's Q&A Saturday. Like the video if you did like it, because it helps out the channel a lot. Let us know you do like these sorts of Q&A Saturday things that I do every week. I think this has been a lot of fun, and I'm glad a lot of people still are liking it. Fun fact, this does come out every Saturday, so if you're curious, like, oh, Tsukat, but when's the next Q&A Saturday? Fun fact, it will be exactly a week from now, and I'll answer all of your questions from the comments down below, and I'll be back from Denver, which will be wonderful. So, hope you all enjoyed this video, because I'll see you all next time. Bye!